Hey, everybody, welcome back to the channel. 1966 songs here with Brian Massey, Massey's Main Entertainment, Randall Nelson, and Doc. This is our second in a new series we're starting where we each rank our 50 greatest songs. We have a point system and we look at the end and see what comes out on top. Each of us are going to do a individual top 10 to get it started. And make some comments along the way, and nobody knows each other's lists, which is cool. So it's kind of a reveal of a week's worth of research, listening, and evaluating songs from 1966. So, without any further ado, our order tonight will be Brian, Doc, Randy, and myself. I am going to pull up Brian's list. So, Brian, let me just center it so you can get all 10 songs on here.
Yeah, that's good. All right, here we go.
Take it over. What do you got?
All right. So, I mean, taking a quick look at mine, you guys will know that if I was actually my age now in the 60s, I would be doing a lot of LSD, obviously. There's there is a lot of psychedelic rock, definitely some very what would be considered alternative by today's standards. Obviously, I have You're Gonna Miss Me, 13th Floor Elevator. That's Rocky Erickson's project. That song was featured on the High Fidelity soundtrack quite prominently. Tomorrow Never Knows. I mean, that's from that's from Revolver, and that was a very experimental album for the Beatles. I got the Seeds on here as my wild card, as I Can't Seem to Make You Mine. That's got that little bit of the garage rock feel to it. A little bit of jangly guitars, which REM obviously would latch on to later. Sloop John B, which is one of my favorite songs, obviously by the Beach Boys. Just a great tune that we covered here recently when we were talking about modes of transportation. Psychotic Reaction, a garage rock song from Count 5 that actually got, I think, to number 6 on the Billboard chart. Kind of a little known song. When you run it by people, most people don't know the song, but it did actually quite well. My favorite song from Donovan here, Season of the Witch, which on the Sunshine Superman album and everything. And then Jimi Hendrix, Hey Joe. We got back around to that. That's a class. It didn't chart. It charted in the UK, didn't chart in the US, but now it's considered a classic rock song of all time. I mean, so it's great. The iconic God Only Knows, which is most considered a quintessential love song by the Beach Boys. Painted Black, mostly known for actually being misspelled on the album with the comma or without the comma in some cases. Is my number 2. But I think it's an iconic song featured on a lot of soundtracks, and my maybe 4th favorite overall song of all time, Visions of Johanna by Bob Dylan, rounding out my top 10, guys. So
awesome.
Got some psychedelic stuff in there.
Huh?
There's some psychedelic stuff in there for
There's
sure.
a lot of psychedelic stuff in here.
Yeah. The one thing that jumps out at me, the psychedelic stuff I kind of expected, but the 2 Beach Boys songs, because I don't really normally associate Brian with the Beach Boys, being one of his favorites, but it's really cool because 1966 with Pet Sounds, obviously, they land 2 songs in the top 10, which is really strong. Excellent. Love it.
Yeah, it's a great list, Brian. I have a lot of your songs on my top 50 for sure, but
right.
Yeah, that LSD would have fit right in, buddy. That's what I can tell you.
I think we have
so
2
we're going to
top
go
10
over
matches.
two
we're
matches.
Move to Doc's list and bring that up. And Doc, take it away.
Like Brian, it's a collage of things, right? So, and I have a soft spot, especially in the 60s here, for some Motown and R&B kind of music, man. And I think you can see that on my list as we go through it. But there you go. Hold On, I'm Coming with Sam and Dave. Little R&B action just to start us off in 66, man. I like the sound. I love the R&B Motown vibe, especially at this time. It's fantastic to me. So then I got that garage sound, man, at 96 Tears. Question Mark Mysterians popping in a little different, but what a catchy tune, man. You hear that one? I told you before, man. You get it in your head, you're gonna be playing that in your head for like a day. It's just the way one of those ones go. So jumping in the Loving Spoonful, Summer in the City. I think it really speaks to what the sound is of the 60s, man, in a lot of senses, man. I think this is, I'm a late 60s child like Brian, so I'm pretty sure I would have blended in at the time too, Brian, if you want the truth. So we just would have been at the same party, buddy. It just would have been a good party.
Don't take the brown acid, Doc. Don't take the brown acid.
No, not the brown, yeah. God only knows, Beach Boys making an appearance there. So you're right. It's yeah, this is a great album, man. Pet Sounds is it is a really good album. And there's some off this that I really like. I got 3 songs I really like off this album. God Only Knows is my second favorite, as you can see as we move along. But I get right back into it with some more Motown, man. I got Get Ready by the Temptations. Some of these things are just closer to me than on the list than what they are. So you can't go wrong with the Temptations in the 60s either, I don't think, in some senses. So I like Good Vibrations just a little bit more than I'd like God Only Knows, man. What can I tell you? I think if you ask almost anybody what the Beach Boys sound is, Good Vibrations is what they'll tell you the Beach Boys sound is. That's what I really like about the Beach Boys. There's Wouldn't It Be Nice and other things, but Golly Knows is a fantastic song. I just like Good Vibrations and the way it's put together, and it's a pop song and everything else, but man, there's a lot of detail behind that song and how it's made. So I really respect that. Give Me Some Lovin', Spencer Davis. Got some British love here too, man. So that's not a shock. I love the British music in this time. So
Yeah.
Eleanor Rigby from the Beatles. That's which way I went, Brian.
Yeah.
It's the Beatles in the 60s, man. We're not gonna have too many wrong answers here, I don't think. So
No.
There you go. That Motown sound again, man. Reach Out, I'll Be There from the Four Tops. It's once again one of the best songs ever if you're in this genre. That's where it is. So, and yeah, I've got Painted Black by the Stones at number 1, buddy. I think it's an anthem for 66 in a lot of senses, man, in my eyes. So that's why it's my number 1.
Yeah, of course, 96 Tears. I was wondering how high you would have it because I mean, you
Love
talk
that
about
too.
that song quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I keep forgetting is that you're such a big Motown guy. Is that you're such a hard rock guy most of the time that I keep forgetting how much you love Motown.
Yeah.
And this list, like, you got 3 Motown songs right
I got
there?
2 Motown R&B on the category wise.
Yeah,
you get the idea.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I keep forgetting that, and it's very much, very much a you kind of list. So
Yep.
I like it.
It's very spread out. Not only the 2 Motown and the 1 R&B. You got a garage song, you got a pop song, and you got some British Invasion, and you got some iconic Beach Boys and Beatles tunes, Stones. Very spread out. So I think it's well balanced. Nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Nice.
And a nice mixture. It kind of reminds me of my list in some ways with how it's spread out like that.
Oh, very cool.
I think so, and you'll see that soon as I bring up Randy's list. Go ahead, Randy. Talk about yours.
All right. I bought one of those I think my parents got me. Those KTEL, it was a 4-record set with the 60s. And Summer in the City, I always just kind of kicked that off. It was one of my favorite songs off that set. Also, I've loved Early Morning Rain. It's a wild card from Gordon Lightfoot.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of his best lyrical songs, and a lot of people have done it. I still like Gordon's version the best.
Yeah.
I too love Reach Out, I'll Be There by the Four Tops, another great Motown tune. Also a big fan of Hold On, I'm Coming by Sam and Dave, which I think Dave Marsh's book, the 1001 Best Singles, he has it really high up too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 6 is Secret Agent Man, Johnny Rivers, and I don't know if you remember the show Ally McBeal, where each of them decided they were going to have a theme song. Yeah. We did that at work, and that's what I decided my theme song was going to be. Secret Agent Man.
That's
awesome. I like it. Good one.
I Fought the Law. I love the Clash's version, but I think this has just as much raw power as the Bobby Fuller 4 original.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
I have Visions of Johanna here, also as its lyrical masterpiece. My number 3, I like the funky James Brown, but I also love the pleading soul balladry of James Brown. This is one of my favorites by him. It's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And God Only Knows is one of the best produced songs and one of the best sounding songs. So I had to have it here. And this might be a surprise, but it might be my favorite Who song. It's Substitute.
Wow.
It's kind of
Wow.
it deals on contradictions and appearance versus reality. It wasn't as big a hit in the United States as it was in England. Part of the problem was they got a lyric where it says, "I look all white, but my dad was black," which apparently did not go over here in the U.S. But that's my tip.
Wow.
Love
I
it.
think
Awesome.
I would think that the surprise for me is the Secret Agent Man being so high. That's so obviously it has a personal meaning to you, though.
Yeah.
So that is a cool tune, though. I like the tune. It's really cool.
Yeah, I like the middle of his list there with "I Fought the Law" and "Secret Agent Man." Two songs that
Yeah.
you wouldn't normally choose, but they're personal and they're
Right.
great songs. They're great '60s songs. So I approve of both of those. They're awesome. Got to have Motown in there, which he does. Soul with James Brown. Fantastic list all the way around. I like the wild card of Gordon Lightfoot popping
Gordon
up at number
Lightfoot.
9.
Yeah.
I was shocked, but it's one of his best songs for me, for sure.
Yeah.
I got 4 of
All
your
right.
top 10 already, so it's right in my wheelhouse. You got a new
Yeah.
song on top of it, and I got other ones on my list later on. So that's a great list, buddy. Obviously.
I like the visions. We like the visions. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, we may see it pop up here. I'm going to go to my list here
Ooh.
Oh,
Wow.
and see what we've got.
well,
Yeah, starting
on.
out at number 10. I got to have the 4 tops. "Reach Out, I'll Be There." I mean, arguably their greatest song. I love Levi Stubbs' voice, and it makes an appearance, cracking the top 10. And then right after that, Sam and Dave, a third guy to have that so far. "Hold On, I'm Coming." "Summer in the City," I agree with Randy. As soon as summer comes, that's one of the first songs I pop on, along with Beach Boys music. It just makes me feel good in the summertime. I love "Just Like a Woman" by Bob Dylan. It makes my list. I love the lyricism, the whole way the song is laid out. Fantastic. "Sunny Afternoon" by the Kinks. What can I say? It could be one of my top 3 Kinks songs. So I found a way to sneak it in here. I've got "Paint It Black" at number 5, a little lower than Doc, but still makes the top 10 or top 5 in this case.
Yeah.
"I Am a Rock," a personal song for me from Simon and Garfunkel, sort of isolation, loneliness, and strength at the same time. It speaks to me, so I'd put that at number 4. 3, Eleanor Rigby, off of Revolver. Again, great lyricism, kind of sticks out on that album for me for whatever reason. Again, loneliness, throwing the rice in the church, and darning the socks, all those visions and great metaphors and stuff. "Visions of Johanna," couldn't put it at number 1. Any other year, maybe, but "God Only Knows" is my number 1. I think it's the best produced, best sounding song of the year, and it gets the top spot. So there it is.
There it is.
Yeah. All these make sense. The one thing that stands out, of course, is I'm the only schmuck that didn't have the 4 tops in his top 10.
Well, I'm going to find out.
It just wasn't my vibe. This is your vibe. This is what I like about it. It's your vibe.
Yeah.
I'm the only schmuck that didn't have "Visions of Johanna" not in the top 10, buddy. So.
Yeah. But it's got to be your thing.
But it's just outside. It's just outside.
I knew "I Am a Rock" was going to be high because we talked about that song before, and something that we've done together. You had it on your Build Perfect album, I think, actually, when we did that. So I knew you were high on that song. I knew it was going to be high.
Now we're going to pull up the master list with the point system.
Close.
As we can see, it's a pretty good battle here. For number 1, 27 points. "God Only Knows" takes out "Visions of Joanne." Look at "Paint It Black" finishing 3rd.
Oh.
Actually, it was a tiebreaker because they each had 25 points, but "Visions of Joanna" had a 1, 2, and a 4, and "Paint It Black" had a 1, 2, and a 5. So it squeaked. Same points.
Nice.
"Reach Out, I'll Be There." Tremendous showing. Eleanor Rigby, "Substitute," really on the strength of Randy's number 1 and 2 other votes in the 20s there between Doc and myself, gave it the number 6 spot.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm Coming, and "Summer in the City" I Am a Rock, and of course 96 Tears. They fell out the top 10. It's pretty interesting. Sunny afternoon. I got
Doc, you and I both had I am a Rock at 30. The exact spot.
Isn't that cool when that happens?
Yeah, that is cool. Really
Season
cool.
of the Witch was on everybody's list, which was really excellent. As was Ain't Too Proud to Beg. Wouldn't It Be Nice? You got some that made every list. They just didn't have the point value and finished in the teens in the ranking. So
I think the magic number will always be at least 11 or 12 to make the top 10. You have to have 11 or 12 points to make the top 10. That seems like will be the. It may drop.
Yeah, right.
I'm thinking that's about right.
anybody want to make any comments on these? And I'll page down to the other, the lower list to take a look to see what, got some support, but maybe not enough.
This is kind of cool. I like it.
Got quite a few that everybody voted for there.
Yeah, that's pretty neat at the top, right?
I mean,
they all
number 1, number 2, and number 3, guys. I think we all would have at the beginning would have said those 3 are the top 3 songs. Just the order had to be determined. I would think. But
let me move down a bit to the I don't want to go that far down, but maybe in the 20s and look and see what we had here that didn't quite crack the top 10. I Fought the Law finished in 20th. Here, There, and Everywhere, which we didn't get to talk about, made 3 of the lists and got 8 points. I was the only schlub that didn't vote for it. but
it's really
made a good run.
Yeah, it's really an abstract song in a way, and maybe not. It may not have been your vibe, which
that's all.
That's the case with Revolver for a lot of people. A lot of people just don't vibe on Revolver.
I think it's a beautiful song. It's just I had other Beatles songs I wanted to squeeze in ahead of it. Secret Agent Man and Sloop John B. Cool songs. They both made it. Sunshine Superman, another one we haven't discussed. Everybody's list except Randy finished with 7 points. Mother's Little Helper. What a drag it is getting old, right? Is that the one?
What a drag
is
getting old.
And you got Neil Diamond, Doc's Boy, Solitary Man making a good.
And he's the only one that didn't vote for it.
Vote for it.
Doc, you didn't even vote for it, man. I gave it 19, bro. What the hell? Whatever happened to Hot August Nights? Come on, Doc.
You'll have to scroll down further to find my Neil song.
Ugh.
Doc and I with the Rascals at 12 and 20, but the other guys didn't vote for it, so it sort of slacked a little bit with Good Lovin'. The Supremes. Everybody voted for the Supremes, You Can't Hurry Love, but Down in the Pack only got 5 votes.
Yeah, you're right.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's the lowest ranked song where it got all 4 votes was You Can't Hurry Love. It finished 31st in the ranking. The Monkees showed up here with I'm a Believer. 3 of the 4 of us had that. Yep. Again, down in the ranking. You got the Byrds, 8 Miles High. I thought Under My Thumb might do better than it did, but none of us really had it very high.
It's kind of a bland song for the Stones,
Don't tell Gary, physical format, rock and roll. He'll come after you. But anyway, let's look here. Let's look at some of these other.
I want to say on Out of Time.
Yes.
Which I had higher than Painted Black. It was just up there.
I'll pull it back up. It's right here.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah. Yeah. I had it at 15. I've always loved that song since I heard it in the movie Coming Home. They use it
Same here.
And I don't know, it's always resonated with me in that movie, so that's why I had it higher than Painted Black.
I agree with that. I had it 34. Happy Jack had 2 votes and 5 points, I guess, on the system there. 16th vote.
Randy. Yeah.
19th Nervous Break. I love this song, What Becomes of the Broken Hearted, a great Motown song, but it just didn't get enough support. Psychotic Reaction. Brian was the only one that had it, believe it or not. He had it number 6.
Yeah.
Same with Tomorrow Never Knows. He was on the island with that. And who else? I'm just looking at some of these. Knock on Wood, Eddie Floyd. Some of them finished out of the top 50, but that's just a general look at the list here.
Interesting.
Some great songs, obviously. Paperback Writer, another great Beatles song. Cherry Cherry, Neil Diamond. That had 3 of the 4 votes. And
Yep.
again, it didn't get up that high.
If you didn't vote for Cherry Cherry, man, we're kicking you out of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have stiffed both the Neil songs, both Solitary Man and Cherry Cherry. Can't have it.
Right.
I got that one in there. That's okay.
Yeah.
Good job. Anyway, I just want to blow that out. And we're at about 21 and a half minutes. So
Perfect.
great job, guys. Appreciate everybody ranking. We'll move on to 1967. I think these years get harder as we go.
They do.
Music's exploding. There's all kinds of genres coming in. Maybe Motown's waning a little bit, but some of this other stuff, this heavier late 60s music's just coming into play. So we're going to look at that next time out. Be sure and sub up Brian Massey's Main Entertainment. Sub up Randy Nelson at his channel. The links will be in the description below. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Give us some feedback. Let you know what we think of our individual lists, our lists overall, some songs that we missed on or left out completely. So thank you again. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you in 1967.